Thanks, Rajika. Thanks, everyone. I'm actually grateful for the opportunity to be with friends, Gatorade in this group. I confess, in fact, one of the great honors I've had in my life has been speaking to comrades who have political clarity about how things work in the real world. Speak a relation between China, Latin America, and its consequences in terms of socialist transition demands not a little speech, demands a great conference about that. In this sense, I choose explore a theme that I have developed in my recent works. I will speak something on the role of foreign trade planning as a tool in the sense of a transition between capitalism and socialism. Uh, in Brazil, Latin America, one moment, we are still a long way from a level of political conscience on the left to be capable of perceiving the centrality of China and the possibilities of that the Chinese socialist experience offers for humanity. I used to say China has been noted for building the most advanced social and human engineer of our time. In the country, although still embryonic and taking its first steps, is that socialism presents itself as a clear historical form. Furthermore, I have said that the current historical form in which socialism presents itself is still far from abstract concepts, among them, for example, the so-called abolition of private property. Socialism, my point of view, is still on a socioeconomic formation that develops under strong restrictions imposed by a capitalism still dominant throughout the world. Under current conditions, we can say that capitalism as the dominant mode of production in the world allows the existence of non-capitalist socioeconomic formations within it. For us, China, since 1978, has inaugurated the first class of a new class of socioeconomic formations that we call the market socialism. Vietnam will be the second experience and Laos the third. Cuba and People's Korea belong to another typology of socialist-oriented socioeconomic formation. In this sense, as the most advanced experience of this new class of socioeconomic formations, China presents socialism to the world as an historical form that stands out for a fundamental characteristic, 2 points. The transformation of a reason into an instrument of government with the emergence of a new and superior forms of economic planning in the country, including the planning of its foreign trade. In this context, is that we must relate the development of Chinese socialism and the possibilities open to national or social freedom in Latin America. Foreign trade planning is a key point, also for Latin America. The short time that I have led me to choose this topic to talk about the relations between China and Latin America. Latin America is the so-called weak link in the imperialist chain in a world is still largely dominated by the capitalist mode of production. Therefore, given the historical circumstances, we must have a series of mediations in mind when dealing with the transition to socialism in our region and the role of China in this process. The law of uneven development proposed by Lenin allow us to take a more strategic and scientific look at this issue. For example, exports of Chinese productive capital to Latin America open up great possibilities, not only for the purpose of improving our country's balance of payments. On the other hand, unfortunately, Latin American elites and much of the Latin American left wing lack a strategic vision of the relationship between our region and China. We must understand China's role as an exporter of public goods and a supplier of credit, overcoming the institutions born under Bretton Woods domain, for example, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, those who have become arms of imperialist domination around the world. We also have to instrumentalize Chinese investment, both to consolidate experience, such as the Cuban, Venezuela, Bolivia, Nicaragua, as also to reinforce independent national projects. Socialism in global scope will go through the growing economic gravitation of the world around China in a similar way that Marx perceived the capitalism socialism transition worldwide, centered on the possibility of socialist revolution in England, Germany, and France. I believe that there is a big conceptual and theoretical gap to be filled in regard to the role of foreign trade planning in the global capitalism socialism transition. I return to Lenin to recall that according to the great Russian revolutionary, the battlefield between capitalism and socialism should be shifted from the military field to commercial field, and that planned foreign trade will be fundamental to be victory of socialism on a world scale. And our current international scenario, doubtless, has demonstrated that. Lastly, there is still a long way to take the consolidated transition to socialism in our region, but the path is promising. China is Latin America's biggest trading partner, for example, but a type of a relationship that isn't virtuous enough yet, in the sense to be a fundamental element in a qualitative political leap in the region, is still being reproduced. Imperialism still has immense strength in the region. Therefore, seeking mediations between the current state in which Latin America finds itself and the socialist objective involves the emergence of powerful national projects, even with a capitalist character. The imperialism does tolerate the autonomy of any Latin American country. In this sense, the role of China is fundamental, as well as the left itself in our region. To conclude, I would like to remind you that this year, a great battle for the Brazilian nation will take place in next October. In Brazilian elections, something fundamental will be at stake. 2 points. The right to continue being Brazilians. My best regards to everyone. Thank you.